my name is Sofia, and I chose to do my ethnography on sideline cheerleading. So, sideline cheer is most popular in high school, and that's what I based my presentation on. But I have recreationally sideline cheered for a very long time. So, most sideline cheer teams in high school are very serious about cheerleading, and the coach is serious, and they do more complex cheers and stunts. However, my school cheer team is not like that at all. It's pretty relaxed and just fun most of the time, which is because our football team isn't good. So we were just able to have fun throughout the season, and it wasn't as serious as other high school teams are. Some native language in cheer is the uniform, the pom-poms, the bows, and the cheer shoes. Most high school cheer uniforms are a tank top of some sort as the top and a skirt as the bottom. That is the school's colors, and usually has a school name on the front. We also use pom-poms, which is the school's color as well, and we hold one in each hand, and we shake it when we're cheering for the team, and we hold them during our cheering routines. We also have bows that match the uniform that we wear in our hair during the games in a ponytail. We are not allowed to have our hair down during games, so it's always up. And then we have cheer shoes, which are usually always white, and they're worn for mobility when we are stunting and because it just looks clean with the cheer uniform. Some more native language includes the track, which is the pavement around the field where the cheerleaders stand, and this is where we do our cheers, which is the routines we do to hype up the crowd and support our team. And then we do stunting, which is where the cheerleaders are lifted up into the air. And within stunting, there is the flyer, the bases, and the back spot. So the flyer is usually the smallest one on the team, and they get put up into the air by the bases and the back spot. So the bases stand on each side of the flyer, and the flyer jumps up and puts her feet into the base's hands, and they push her up into the air. The back spot is there to guide the flyer up. So she holds the flyer's sides and helps lift her into the base's hands, and once the flyer is put up, she supports her back legs. I included some basic stunts that cheerleaders perform on the sidelines, and what also my team performed on the sidelines last season, which is the shoulder stunt, the high V stunt, and the touchdown stunt. So the shoulder stunt is the least complicated, where the flyer steps on the base's knee as she is knelt down and pushes herself up onto her shoulders. The high V stunt is where the flyer is lifted up by the bases in the back spot and makes a high V with her arms while she is in the air. Then there is a touchdown stunt, where there are 3 separate stunts, and the 3 flyers come together to make a field goal with their arms. And then finally, I included push-ups into the native language because every time our team gets a touchdown, we have to do 7 push-ups. And if they get another touchdown, then we have to do 14 push-ups, and so on. So on game days, I would usually just eat a granola bar before I go to the field and drink a water bottle, because you don't want to eat too much because the cheerleaders are there and they're jumping around and they're screaming and they're chanting the whole time and they're really peppy and they have a lot of energy, so you're supposed to be moving around a lot. So you don't want to be really full and jumping around and screaming and all that, because that would just make you sick. And so the cheerleaders would have to get to the field around 2 hours before the game starts, and we would set up the benches for the football team. We would move them onto the sidelines, someone to sit, and we would also move all of the coolers from the teachers' rooms, from my coach's room, and we would put them onto the track for the football players and for us to drink. And then around an hour before the game starts, the cheerleaders would stretch out, and we would practice all of our cheers that we were going to do during that game to make sure that we all had them down and we wouldn't mess up. So right before the game starts during a home game, all of the cheerleaders would run out onto the field, and we would make 2 lines facing each other with room in between, and all of the football players would run out of the tunnel and run in between our 2 lines, and we would cheer for them right before the game starts and hype up the crowd. And then our band would play a song, and we had a dance routine to that we would do on the field, and then we would run back to the track and get into our formations and get ready to start cheering. So games usually last around 2 hours, sometimes more, and the cheerleaders would have to be there 2 hours before the game starts. So by the end of the game, we were always really tired, and before we could leave, we would have to clean up the track and all the bottles and the wrappers that might have been on the track during the game. And then after that, we got to go home, and usually I would just shower and go straight to sleep. I was always so tired from cheering the games. And so that is it, and thank you for listening to my ethnography.